Hi, I'm here. I'm alive. Hello. Hi, everyone. Happy Sunday. Oh, wait, let me make sure. Can you guys see me and hear me? Hi. There's a bunch of you in here already. Hello. Thank you for being here. It is Sunday. I didn't stream yesterday because I'm busy getting things ready for Kenzie calls, all of the above. Hello. Let's see who's here. I saw Evie, Cuff you. Oh, I see what you said. Hey, Cuffy. Jenna became a member. Thank you, Jenna, for becoming a member. I saw Fem. Okay. Banji. Glenda. Beautifully broken tits. Hello, Melly. Happy Sunday. Hello, Patty's here. Okay, everyone's here. Hi. Okay, I think last time we saw you guys was Friday night. And I had a lot of fun. So those kinds of live, we're going to be moving those to the second channel. So I will be dropping the second channel link probably tomorrow during Brian Walsh. We are streaming that here. Hello, welcome in, everybody. Welcome back. We are covering Sonia Exelby today, but I did want to give a little rundown on things. We're going to be covering Brian Walsh trial during the week, pretty much streaming it all day long until it's over. And then also we are going to be streaming a lot of Kenzie calls because I did get them through FOIA. So again, I don't know. Courtney Clenny was supposed to start trial on the 1st. That got changed as far as I'm concerned. So if something comes up that she would start tomorrow, which I didn't see on the docket, I would absolutely stream that. But as for the most part, it'll be Brian Walsh. So please make sure you hit the like button. Hello. Thank you, Yvonne. Evie's like, oh, we are not talking Friday. LMAO. We are talking Friday later. We're going to have buzzballs. No buzzballs. What happens there stays there. Exactly. Melly, never heard of this case either. I'm here for Melly for you. Oh, thank you, beautifully broken. I love you and appreciate you. You make me feel okay. That's really cute. Yeah, I know I'm wild, but I guess it is what it is. It just is what it is. I'm eating after this live. Okay, sounds good, Debbie. Friday and Saturday we're winning. She's not gonna be here during this live, but she'll be I'm sure she has some stuff to say. Anyways, let me give you a little rundown on Sonia Exelby. I hope I'm saying that right. Here's a little rundown, the itinerary for today. I'm gonna give you some of the details. We're gonna watch a 3-minute news clip. We're gonna look at the press release from the Shoal Police Department that they gave. We're going to read the affidavit and we're going to watch a clip by Law and Crime. So we're going to just kind of learn everything about the case. It's brutal. Yeah, I had a good time. You guys are a good time. So thanks for being there. She was weird, but I don't see any proof she wanted it to end like that. Yeah, I know. I don't either. So who is Sonia? Let me pull up the screen. No, Anton. Bad Anton. Let's see. Okay. So this is her right here, Sonia, and this is Dwain. Is that his name? I'm not even like I just got into this case as of recent. Yeah, his name is Dwain Hall, 53 years old. So who is Sonia? Sonia is 32 from Portsmouth, England. According to family members and social media posts by her longtime partner, she was quote unquote struggling deeply with mental health issues. With that being said, I do want to say trigger warning and warning. This involves like online fetishes and stuff. So involves schmurder, online fetishes, and just scary things that can come from the internet, but also mental health. So let's be respectful. I don't want victim blaming. I don't want that. So if you do it, you're in trouble. Okay. But no, I don't want, I'm sure we'll probably hear a lot about it in the trial because the defense will probably make her look like she is also, not a good person. So I don't want to do that. Aren't we all? Yes. Regarding mental health issues. What do you mean? Yes. I'm always in trouble, says Patty. Okay. So let's continue. Sonia was struggling with mental health issues. Authorities believe she traveled to Florida intentionally, not for vacation, but with the express desire to meet people who would violently end her life. That person she met was someone she was talking to for allegedly 2 years, which is icky because do you see him on the screen? His name is Dwain Hall, 53. On October 10th, Sonia landed in Gainesville Regional Airport in Florida. She did not board her return flight to the UK on October 13th, a red flag that triggered the missing persons reports. The UK authorities alerted US law enforcement through Interpol. Investigators traced her last known movements to a rental Airbnb in Reddick, Florida, where a man, Dwain Hall, picked her up at the airport. Hall and Sonia had reportedly met online on a fetish website about 2 years prior. According to Hall, Sonia told him of her suicidal desires and her wish to be unalived. Hall claimed he was acting as a quote unquote mentor who wanted to help her. At the Airbnb, the pair were intimate multiple times, and Hall admitted to a recording video of Sonia, which she later asked him to delete. Police later recovered the deleted video, which allegedly shows Sonia visibly bruised, fearful, and deeply distressed. In that recording, she seems hesitant, not at ease, as Hall asks her why she came there. At one point, she says, "Because I'm an awful person. I've crushed everyone who loves me." The day after the video was made in a message to a friend on Discord, Sonia reportedly expressed regret and fear, writing she thought Hot would quote unquote do it quick so she wouldn't have time to think. On October 17th, her body was discovered in a shallow grave in a woodland in the Marion Oaks area of Florida. I'm not familiar with Florida. An autopsy, other than crazy Sarah Boone, an autopsy determined she was killed by 4 stab wounds. Her remains were positively identified by fingerprints. Investigators unearthed a shovel with Sonia's DNA as well as a blood-stained knife linked to the murder. Prior to her arrival in Florida, Hall purchased items including rope, a paracord, and a shovel, all consistent with preparations for disposing of a body. Surveillance and receipt records confirmed those purchases. Okay, thank you, ChatGPT. And let's move on. So there's a lot going on here. And Discord, I mean, I have a love-hate relationship with Discord. It always reminds me of these freak cases like Celeste Rivas and Maddie Soto, and Pig Vomit. But anyways, so the fetish website, I'm not even gonna say it because I did look. I did look. Oh, hi, Hossein. I didn't say hi to you. Did I miss you? I'm sorry. Yeah, I looked. It's bad. It's bad. So I'm not even gonna say anything about it. If you guys want to go look into it, that's on you, not me. But anyways, okay, moving on. So I want to play this 3-minute clip of WFTV. It's a 3-minute clip about that, and then I'm gonna get into reading the affidavit, which is brutal. So this is Sonia on the screen. Let me share this one. Oh,
The victim, Sonia Exelby, traveled from her home in England in Gainesville. They say she then met a man in Ocala. Her remains were later found in a wooded area of the Marion Oaks community back on October 13th. Investigative reporter Ashlyn Webb joining us live here in the studio. Ashlyn, you've been working on this story all night. The suspect originally told investigators he never met her.
Yes, but shortly after his story began to unravel, Dwain Hall told investigators he met her online 2 years ago on what he described as a fetish site. He said he had a mentor-type relationship with her. He says he knew Exelby suffered from severe mental illness and wanted to help her. But investigators say instead he tortured her for days and then murdered her. New documents reveal what brought FDLE investigators to these woods in Marion County that's now a crime scene. Investigators say they found multiple attempted charges to Sonia Exelby's card from Solvers Wolf's roadside assistance. Dwain Hall is the company's sole employee. Hall told investigators Exelby tried to get roadside assistance, but when her card didn't go through, he never helped her. But quickly, his story changed, later admitting to investigators he's had an online relationship with Exelby for roughly 2 years, where they discussed bondage, suicide, and her desire to have someone kill her. Investigators say they searched Exelby's Airbnb in Marion County and found receipts in the trash for October 10th, all charges to Hall's card, showing Hall purchased a rope, gun cleaner, and a shovel. Purchases investigators say were all made just before the suspect admitted to picking up Sonia Exelby at the Gainesville airport. Hall says he had sex with Exelby, but he says she agreed to bring him $4,000 in cash. Instead, she gave him $1,200 from her card. He told investigators he was upset. FDLE recovered video off of Hall's phone that he recorded of Exelby, who investigators described as having multiple bruises, abrasions to her face and neck, visibly crying. Investigators say Hall asked on the video how she would want to die. She hesitated and said to be stabbed. Investigators found messages Exelby is believed to have sent to her friend on a gaming app that FDLE says shows Hall was controlling her, that she was afraid and made a mistake. FDLE says Hall's phone records took them to the wooded area in Marion County off of Southwest 30th Terrace, where they found a grave and later remains belonging to Exelby. Now, investigators say Hall later messaged a friend from Ohio on Facebook telling him he was shipping him a knife and a bracelet. Investigators recovered that knife and says the blood on it belonged to Exelby. He's been charged with murder and kidnapping. Reporting in studio, Ashlyn Webb.
Yeah, I know. I know what you guys are thinking. It is terrifying. And I don't want to be judgmental, but I don't know anything about that, the kink stuff in that community. So I won't even speak on it like I do and act like I do know anything because I don't. But this seems rather dangerous, and she was very vulnerable. She was having mental health issues. It's very uncomfortable. I do want to say trigger warning when we do get to the affidavit because it goes into details. Let's read this article. This is Florida Department of Law arrest suspect in homicide of missing UK woman on November 17th. The Florida Department of Law Enforcement arrested Dwain Hall, 53, of Ocala on charges of, is that how I'm saying it right? I think Cufuse from there. On charges of first degree murder and kidnapping in the homicide of a missing woman from the UK. The arrest follows a swift and intensive investigation that led to the discovery of her remains in Marion County less than 1 week after she was reported missing. On Monday, October 13th, FDLE received a request for investigative assistance from UK authorities through Interpol regarding a missing and endangered woman from England. FDLE's investigation found that the woman missed her scheduled flight back to England on the afternoon of October 13th. Within days, agents from FDLE's Jacksonville Regional Operations Center and Marion County Sheriff's Office located human remains in Marion Oaks on Friday, October 17th. The remains were determined to be those of the missing woman from England, and further examination revealed that her death was ruled as a homicide. On Monday, November 17th, FDLE agents and detectives with Marion County Sheriff's Office arrested Hall for first-degree murder and kidnapping. Hall was already incarcerated on prior charges of fraudulent use of credit cards and unlawful use of two-way communication device. These charges were tied to fraudulent use of the victim's credit cards. Our agents worked with extraordinary speed and unwavering determination to ensure justice was served and closure was brought to the victim's family. This type of violent crime and disregard for human life will not be tolerated in our state. Those who commit such heinous crimes will be held fully accountable. Florida's tough stance against crime is due largely in part of the professional cooperation between local and state law, this powerful partnership between my office. Okay, we get it. The investigation remains active. Wow, scary. Very scary. Okay, so let's move on to the next piece of information I want to share. Let's read the affidavit. I was going to go through an article, but I feel like we could just get um all the details from the affidavit. It's 13 pages and it's very detailed. Let's go. It's wild. Okay. Yeah, I know. This world is getting worse by the day and it seems so sad. I agree, beautifully broken toots. Please be aware of your surroundings. Yeah, also that's true. Okay, so let's see. I'll zoom in. Mm, okay. So on Monday, October 13th, 2025, FDLE received a request for investigative assistance from UK authorities through Interpol regarding a missing and endangered female identified as Sonia Exelby. Exelby was reported missing from her home in Portsmouth, Oregon. I'm sorry, England, not Oregon. According to information from UK authorities, Exelby had known mental health diagnosis and at least one previous documented police incident from 2024, which involved a credible concern that she had been suicidal and planned to travel to the United States with the intention of meeting with online individuals who would be willing to unalive her violently. This is wild already. I mean, what kind of mental health state do you have to be in to want someone to unalive you like this? Exelby had possibly communicated with these individuals on Telegram. Telegram is an online application that individuals use to communicate more securely. That attempt was thwarted, and Sonia received treatment. Most recently, Sonia left evidence on her computer indicating that she was again suicidal and traveling to the US to possibly be SA'd, tortured, and murdered by unknown individuals living in the United States. Yeah, I don't even have words, actually. Very few times in my life am I speechless. Um, she was not okay. No, 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 no. Um, the Hampshire and Isle of Wight Constabulary, I don't know if I'm saying that right, initiated a missing person investigation and found that Sonia had purchased a plane ticket and traveled to the US of America on October 10th, 2025. It was later determined that Sonia had a return flight scheduled for the afternoon of October 13th, but did not check in nor board her return flight. After Sonia arrived at the Gainesville Regional Airport, two United King phone numbers that belonged to Sonia were reported as roaming briefly in the US before being turned off. FDLE was informed that prior to flying to the US, Sonia paid for the airline flight, an Airbnb, and transportation to London Heathrow Airport from her bank accounts. So she spent all this money to just go there and do all of this, get murdered. During the time, Exelby was known to be in the United States. Redacted roadside assistance attempted to charge Sonia's bank debit card on October 11th, 2025. There were 7 attempts at varying amounts with an approximately 10-minute time frame. All were declined. FDLE later found out that during the same time frame, at approximately 1:10 p.m. EST, a payment for $1,200 was successfully charged at a Tesco Bank debit card belonging to Sonia. FDLE contacted the owner of Redacted Roadside Assistance, Dwain Hall. Hall is the only current employee of this business. Hall was initially contacted on October 13th by telephone and then on October 14th by telephone and also in person during the missing person case and asked about transactions. He recalled the declined bank card transactions and claimed that an unknown woman had called him in need of roadside assistance on the weekend of October 10th through the 12th of 2025. This woman was willing to pay him a large sum of money to respond and help her, but when her card was declined multiple times, he did not respond to assist her. He also claimed none of the charges went through. He stated multiple times he did not know Sonia, nor did he travel to meet this unknown woman to provide her assistance. Hall would not produce any information about the woman's car location nor cell phone records to support his assertion that he received a call from someone during the time he said he received the call and charged Sonia's credit cards. Talek is a company that Hall uses to process payments and received through his business. FDLE sent a subpoena to Elevon, the company that manages the records for Talek. These transactions were ultimately confirmed by that company. Talek also confirmed the $1,200 USD was transferred into Hall's merchant account from one of Sonia's bank accounts. FDLE was made aware of a possible attempt from Sonia while she was in the United States to reach out to an online friend through Discord. Discord is an online application that individuals use to communicate. And this is not part of the affidavit, but there's a lot of predators on there, and Telegram as well. Remember Pig Vomit Stefan Stearns? If you don't know who that is the monster that raped and murdered Maddie Soto. The child. So anyways, it's a whole nother conversation, but this what I'm saying is Discord has been known to be a controversial app and social media app. This message appeared to come from Sonia's account sometime on October 11th, 2025. The message was long and at times disjointed. It starts by saying, quote unquote, "I'm sorry, he keeps taking my phone. He doesn't trust me with it." She then writes, "He made it clear there was no way out unless I shoot him. I was questioning it last night. I can't kill anyone." She went on to write that last night was so bad and he's in the shower, but I'm locked in and there is no signal in the middle of nowhere. He was keeping her hostage, torturing her, and getting ready to unalive her. Um, she also writes, quote unquote, "I thought he'd do it quick and not give my mind time to stew and realize this is the last thing I'll ever do to anyone if I don't take his offer of shooting him. He showed me about to use it and where to aim it." She's meaning the firearm. She ends a message by writing, "I'm so scared. I'm so broken and in so much pain. All I can do is lay here, and doing what he wants makes him respect me enough not to do the things I really hate. Everything but some are. I'm sorry. I didn't even know what I'm saying, and I'm trying to be quick, and my time's up." The message indicated that the person she was with wouldn't let her leave, and that the same person always had a GUN on him. S- Sonia did not name the person, but said he told her that the only way out is for her to kill him. Additionally, in this message, Sonia said the person made her record 3 disclaimer videos and write a letter to her family because he thought it was funny. I mean, how sick is this man? She was so unsure and had clearly changed her mind. Wow. This is straight out of like a scary movie, dude. I think she was 28. Is that what I read? Pardon me if I didn't say that at the beginning, but I thought 32. She was 32. Oh yeah, thank you. Hey girl, Skyla, good to see you. Yeah, she was 32. Thank you, Cuffy. Okay, this is terrible. I can't even believe this is like a little affidavit we're reading right now. FDLE confirmed with the Airbnb that did have a reservation. Sonia had a reservation for October 10th, 2025 until October 12th for an Airbnb located in Reddick, Florida. Oh, I have to sneeze. Sorry. Okay, I don't want to be rude and like sneeze in your ear. Okay. FDLA confirmed with Airbnb that Sonia did have a reservation from the October 10th to the 12th for an Airbnb located in Reddick, Florida. FDLE contacted the owner of the Airbnb, who confirmed that while it was a no contact check in, someone did check in and communicated using Sonia's account through the Airbnb website during the reservation period. A neighbor located near the Airbnb told FDLE that on October 11th, they observed a black SUV parked at the Airbnb at approximately 3:30 p.m. The neighbor described the vehicle as having a large sticker on the back window and it said emergency roadside. This vehicle appears to match Hall's vehicle. The Airbnb owner received electronic notification that Sonia checked out of the Airbnb the morning of October 12th. The owner informed FDLE that the Airbnb location had not been cleaned since Sonia's checkout. On October 15th, 2025, with the consent of the owner of the Airbnb, FDLE searched the Airbnb and during that search located receipts in the trash that showed on October 10th at approximately 5:47 p.m. Hall, using his bank card, purchased a paracord gun cleaner, 50 feet of rope, loom spray at a Walmart located in Gainesville, Florida. The same day at 5:54 p.m., Hall made another purchase at the same Walmart for a shovel using his same bank card. Surveillance video and transaction history confirmed that Hall was the one who purchased these items. What the hell is going on here? Mental help is horrid. No help. Oh, Lumi? I thought that was something else, like a cleaning something. I know what that is. Let's see, continue. After this purchase, Hall then traveled to Gainesville Regional Airport, where he picked up Sonia less than an hour later. Hall's vehicle was captured by a license plate reader at Gainesville Regional Airport approximately the same time that Sonia's flight from the United Kingdom landed in Gainesville, Florida. After picking up Sonia, they traveled together to the Airbnb in Reddick, Florida, that Sonia reserved in her name. Also located during the search of the Airbnb was a discarded plastic cup from Dunkin' Donuts. Utilizing the label information on the cup, FDLE was able to identify the Dunkin' Donuts location where the drink was purchased and that Hall purchased the drink. The Dunkin' Donuts was located in Gainesville, Florida. Okay. On October 11th at approximately 9:20 a.m., surveillance video shows Hall's vehicle in the drive-thru and a driver who fits the description of Hall paying cash for a drink. Additionally, remnants of strawberries with containers and a sandwich with container were discarded at the Airbnb. FDLE identified these items as being sold at the petrol gas station located at 7401 Reddick, Florida. Surveillance video and financial records confirm that on October 11th at approximately 12:06 p.m., Hall purchased these items. Financial records and surveillance were later found by FDLE that showed Hall also made a purchase at the Dollar General on October 11th at 11:54 a.m. This Dollar General is approximately 3.5 miles from the petrol gas station and approximately 3.4 miles from the Airbnb location. On October 17th, 2025, a search warrant was served on Hall for both his car and his phone. On that same day, Hall agreed to speak with investigators. FDLE Special Agent Mackenzie and Marion County Sheriff's Detective interviewed Hall. FDLE Special Agent Mackenzie read Hall his Miranda warning, and Hall acknowledged his rights and continued to speak with the special agent and the detective. Hall repeated his story that he initially replayed to FDLE on October 13th and 14th, which was he never had met her and only spoke with her over the telephone when she requested his assistance due to the mechanical breakdown of her car. He confirmed having roadside assistance company, redacted, in which he drives around and helps people with general light vehicle repair and service. Hall was asked where he was when he received a telephone call from Sonia, to which he stated he was at another location in Reddick, Florida. He went on to state that it was for a high-profile client who provided a name of Harold. Hall stated that he did not think this was his real name and described him as a Middle Eastern man with white teeth and a big smile, indicating he looked like an average person in the area. He went on to state Harold had agreed to pay him a large sum of money, which he eventually stated was 1,200, and made him sign a non-disclosure agreement, an NDA. Hall drove on Friday, October 10th to the Airbnb location at Redacted in Reddick, Florida. He only knew it was a small home located on 122 Second, but after talking further, he confirmed it to be the Airbnb based on his description. He believed Harold was the owner of the Airbnb residence and indicated that Harold let him stay there over the weekend. He described being there and being picked up by unknown drivers in random cars. They would take him to a large barn approximately 10 to 15 minutes away where he would work on cars for Harold. Hall was not allowed to have his phone on him and had to leave his car and cell phone at the Airbnb location. He later advised he snuck his cell phone to the location on the second day, but he had minimal to no service there. Dude, such a freaking liar. When he left the Airbnb on Sunday, October 12th, he described driving towards his residence in Marion Oaks, but noticed he was being followed. He ultimately pulled off the road in a wooded area just south of Southwest Highway 484 and east of Marion Oaks Boulevard. This area is a heavily wooded area of the very front undeveloped part of Marion Oaks. He described waiting there for approximately 1 hour and seeing the car which had been following him drive back and forth multiple times. He advised it was a silver or gray color and then indicated it was a mixture of two colors. He then advised it could have been a tan or combination of tan, silver, or gray. He advised it had dark windows, but he could not tell anything else. The vehicle drove off and Hall then left and continued to his residence. Once he pulled off, he noticed the vehicle had been following him, pulled down the same dirt road in the wooded area. Hall was informed of the Airbnb location being rented by Sonia, and he was questioned further on his truthfulness of the information he provided. Hall then provided another variation of series of events that stated that Friday, October 10th, was a regular day for him with a regular number of calls. He could not remember specifics unless he could access his records on his phone, but it was easier to see the records on his laptop that he keeps in his house. Harold contacted him by phone and asked him to pick up Sonia from Gainesville Regional Airport. He received this direction from Harold through a phone call to his cell phone. Hall did as he was told and picked up Sonia. That's crazy. He attempted to engage Sonia in conversation, but she told him to be quiet because she does not like to talk to the quote unquote help. Hall described Sonia, but said he did not know her name. FDLE Special Agent McKenzie showed a picture of Sonia, and he positively identified Sonia as the person he picked up from the airport. After Hall picked Sonia up from the airport, he drove Sonia to the Airbnb located at Redacted in Reddick, Florida. Hall claimed he received this address from Harold. Once there, Hall claimed Sonia exited his vehicle, embraced a man, and left with him in a car. Hall remained at the Airbnb from October 10th until he left the morning of October 12th. He never saw her again. He confirmed working on cars for Harold as previously described. At the conclusion of his day on Saturday, while at the barn located at the unknown location where the cars were, he heard an argument outside. He was then approached by Harold's driver and told his services were no longer needed. Hall was provided a ride back to the Airbnb and he told he could stay the night. Harold then called him on the phone and paid him with a credit card for the $1,200 that they had agreed upon. This is a transaction which was determined through financial records to have ultimately come from Sonia's account. When it is a foreigner with no visa, the airport reports it to the authorities. Thank you, Cuffew. Here's the first clue. Hall is a dumbass. Yeah, he is. When asked about the phone calls and messages from Harold, Hall said all of his phone calls and texts from the time period that he was asked about had quote unquote disappeared from his phone. Oh my gosh, this sounds like Stephen Stern's, the reset. It literally blows my mind. He advised all the GPS data in his phone did not register when he was at the unknown bar area working for Harold. He also mentioned that he had Life 360 application on his phone, which tracked his movements, but indicated it would not have shown him going to the barn either. Hall then changed his statement further and said that Sonia was at the Airbnb, but that he was never there at the same time as her. After being confronted with the knowledge that law enforcement knew that she stayed at the Airbnb as well, Hall admitted then that he did know her and that her name was Sonia. No shit. Continue. Hall also admitted that Sonia did stay in the Airbnb. He claimed that she initiated sex with him the night of October 10th, and that while he did have sex with her, he did not want to because he felt bad about his wife, who he loves. But you didn't feel bad about her the 2 years you were cheating and texting Sonia. You sick F. Hall, okay, this is where it gets kind of gross. Sorry, you guys. Hall ejaculated once and did not use a condom. Hall said that he did grab Sonia around the throat for quote unquote light bondage, but offered that he did not use any ropes. Hall was also asked about the rope he purchased from Walmart because the packaging was discarded at the Airbnb, and he stated that he did unravel it in the Airbnb and thought about using it, but ultimately did not use it. Hall said that during the weekend, he had sex with Sonia one additional time at the Airbnb. He described the sex as quote unquote vanilla. Ew, what a sick pig. And yeah, what he was married to whom, I don't know. And I don't want to know why. Hall was confronted with the receipts of the purchases on October 10th from the Walmart in Gainesville, Florida. He then remembered that he did go to Gainesville and run errands. He admitted purchasing the items on the receipts to include the shovel with the green handle. He told the special agent and the detective that the shovel was in his garage, located at Redacted, in Ocala, Florida. I hope I'm saying that right. A shovel matching the shovel Hall purchased from Walmart was later recovered in Hall's garage during a search of his residence subsequent to a search warrant. Additionally, another one of the items on a receipt recovered from the Airbnb was a cleaner that Hall stated he purchased to clean a gun that he carried in his car. He said that the GUN belonged to his wife, but that it was his favorite and he took it everywhere. Hall said that he had not shot the GUN in 18 months, but did clean it in his vehicle while he was at the Airbnb because it was getting some rust on it. Dude, this guy is like a terrible liar. A firearm and gun cleaner were later recovered from Hall's vehicle during a search of his vehicle subsequent to a search warrant. Hall admitted to communicating with Sonia online beginning approximately 2 years ago. And they discussed bondage, the S word, suicide, and her desire to have someone kill her. They initially met on the website, which is a fetish website. Hall's screen/profile name was Alpha Sadist. What? This is wild. Hall admitted this is absolutely, absolutely insane. Oh, he doesn't mean boring, just not kinky. Oh, yeah, I wouldn't know what he means, but either way. Hall admitted to taking a video of Sonia with his cell phone during the weekend of October 10th through the 12th, but that she was not behaving right, so he deleted it. During search of Hall's phone, FDLE was able to locate the video that Hall recorded on October 11th. Hall deleted the video 3 seconds after recording it. The video was later recovered from local DCIM cache folder on Hall's cell phone subsequent to a search warrant. The video is 4 minutes and 16 seconds long. The video only shows Sonia, but Sonia's voice is heard. Shows Sonia, but Hall's voice is heard as he asks her questions and directs her. Sonia is sitting on a piece of furniture in the Airbnb. She is disheveled and is wearing the same dress she was wearing at the London Heathrow Airport. Sonia has multiple bruises and abrasions to her face and neck, as well as pattern abrasions to her breast. Yeah, I know. I did just go by the site, but I don't want to enforce anything like that because YouTube's going to be like, "Why are you telling them to go to this website?" This is for educational purposes only. You guys can go look if you want. You're adults. Do not go to the site. Triggering is an understatement. Correct, cuff you. It can never be something I could show you guys on here. Um, and this is really scary. Hall asks Sonia to tell him why she is there. Sonia responds and she says, "Because I'm an awful person." Hall asks Sonia why she's an awful person. Sonia responds, quote unquote, "I've crushed everyone who ever loves me." She goes on to speak about other reasons she believes she is an awful person and is visibly upset with tears in her eyes. He's literally getting off on her like suffering. As she is talking about this, Hall asks her how she would want to die and describe it. She does not answer, and he then asks her what she has been consenting to hear today. She asks him hesitantly if he means about the way he's talked about unaliving her. Hall asks Sonia about what treatment she consents to beforehand. She hesitates and then tells him to be stabbed. Hall goes on to ask Sonia about her treatment the last day or the 2 days, and she seems confused and then tells him that she doesn't remember because they've talked about so many different ways. Hall then asks Sonia about her face. She responds, "You've beaten me." He asks her if that is what she asked for. She does not ultimately respond, but then says, quote unquote, "I guess literally speaking." Hall asks her if she has been forced or coerced. Again, Sonia does not immediately respond, and when she does respond, she shakes her head no. Hall says, quote unquote, "This is how you wanted to die, right? You wanted to be beaten and made to suffer because you're such a piece of shit." Sonia begins to nod, and then orders Sonia to, quote unquote, "say it." Sonia complies and says, "I needed to be beaten and suffer because I'm such a piece of shit." Hall then tells her, "Good, good." Hall asks her again if she is being forced, and Sonia shakes her head no. He then asks her if she is happy and getting what she wants. She nods her head. Throughout the conversation, Sonia is subdued, rarely looks up towards the camera where Hall would be positioned, becomes visibly upset with tears in her eyes, exhales deeply, swallows hard, and is very hesitant to answer Hall's questions. My heart's breaking for her because, like, imagine having mental health issues and you get involved in a situation like this, and this is how your life ends. During this interview, Hall shared with investigators that he used to have violent tendencies. He discussed helping Sonia with her plans, but then said he wasn't interested in any of it after his wife fell ill. He claimed that when his wife fell ill in August, all these violent tendencies went away. Did anybody check on the wife? Like, hello? I'm sure probably authorities did, but like, I'm concerned. Hall indicated that he was the last person to see Sonia alive. He said if he were to help her, he would have taken her to Alligator Alley and she could just walk in any direction to encounter wildlife that would have taken care of her. Wait, am I reading that right? He said if he were to help her, he would have taken her to Alligator Alley. And so she could walk in any direction to encounter wildlife that would have taken care of her. When questioned if Sonia walking in the Everglades would be violent enough for her, he said he would take care of that ahead of time. Hall mentioned, my apologies, Hall motioned with his hands as though he would use his hands to exact violence on Sonia. Hall eventually states to investigators that he is either a suspect or not. Special Agent Mackenzie asked him, quote unquote, "A suspect in what though?" That's the question. Hall asked, quote unquote, "If you end a person's life, isn't that murder?" A discussion ensues where Hall asks investigators about legal consequences and possible charges based on their circumstances. Dude, I cannot believe people like this walk amongst us. I mean, it can be the mailman, it can be someone down the street. Like, Cuffy says she would 100% disappear in Alligator Alley. During the interview, MCSO Detective Miller asked Hall what would Hall tell Sonia's family. Hall responds that he would tell him that the last time he saw her, she was happy because she was going to get what she wanted. And we just heard literally what happened. Hall claimed responsibility for Sonia being in a good place for the past few weeks because he helped her change her life daily. He also stated he knows what it's like to live with depression like that, referring to Sonia. Dwain, sorry, buddy. I don't think you're just struggling with depression. Um, Hall said he did not know what happened to Sonia. He last saw her Saturday night when she got into a tan Cadillac Eldorado with an unknown person. He described the vehicle as being quiet, but could not describe it further. During the interview, Marion County Sheriff's Office intel personnel conducted a search of license plate readers and could not locate any signs of the Cadillac within the last 3 months in the area. The interview continues, but eventually Hall requests to end the interview after being told that the woods, where he told investigators he parked for an hour the morning of October 12th because of being followed, is being searched. Hall was arrested for credit card fraud and unlawful use of a two-way communication device. Later, Hall requests to re-engage, and FDLE Special Agent McKenzie and Detective Miller return to the interview room. Hall is reread the Miranda warning by the special agent and a detective, and Hall is adamant that he wants to talk to the investigators. He's sick. Hall says to the investigators that he wants to tell the truth and recant. He met Sonia on this website about 2 years ago and that he started mentoring her. Hall went on to say that he wanted to make Sonia's life better and that he didn't want her to kill herself. According to Hall, during their communications, Sonia told him that other people had either fallen in love with her or chickened out and couldn't help her. Within the past year, Sonia offered to help Hall with money he owed to the IRS. Hall said he would accept the help, and from there he continued to mentor her and seemed to be getting better. While this was happening, Hall's wife became very sick. First of all, how can you think you're a mentor? Blows my mind. And third of all, I'm wondering what his wife got sick from. Again, did they look into this? Because I'm concerned for a wife living under the same roof of this demonic person. While this was happening, oh yeah, I already said that. Hall's wife became very ill. Sonia and Hall worked out a cover story, which was a story that Hall initially told investigators. Sonia wanted this cover story and was insistent that Hall stick to it because she did not want to be a burden to him in the process of her, Sonia, getting her needs met. He just wanted to help Sonia and is going to keep his promise to her. Sonia didn't want to be disturbed anymore, and he was going to keep that promise. Hall stated that after Sonia came here, she wanted it to be it and not disturbed. She wanted it to be done and over. Later, Hall stated that Sonia did not want to be found and he can't tell investigators where she is because of the promise. Hall said that Sonia may have some bruises from the sex, but it was at her insistence. Her front and back, face, and breast were smacked. Hall said that Sonia made it very clear she wanted rough sex. When asked about a safe word, Hall said that Sonia did not want a safe word because of her situation. A quote-unquote safe word is a pre-agreed on and typically used when consenting partners engage in BDSM sex. This allows a partner to stop the activity immediately if they choose. Hall said he did not need a safe word, but he would know when to stop. If the partner flinches or pulls away, it is cause for immediate stop. Hall was asked if Sonia ever did anything that indicated she had changed her mind, and he responded, no. He said that Sonia got upset with him because he did not want to participate in bondage with her. He knew this because her demeanor changed. Oh, my goodness. Sorry, guys, trigger warning. Hall was asked where Sonia's property was. He said that he wouldn't know where it was now and then said most of it was donated. Hall said he put it in a clothing box and donated it. Hall believes he did this on Sunday, October 12th. Hall said he donated a nondescript black bag with possible makeup and other clothing. Later, FDLE was provided with a better description of the bag by the family. Hall thought by donating the items, they would be put to good use. The clothing box was green and white, located somewhere in Gainesville, Florida. Hall stated that Sonia didn't do what she was supposed to do, which was bring him $4,000 in cash to help him pay his IRS debt. She did not bring him cash and he was upset. She gave him her card to charge, but was ultimately only able to get $1,200 American dollars. He confirmed it declined multiple times. Hall was supposed to help Sonia, and Sonia was supposed to help him by bringing the cash. She didn't bring the cash, nor did she have enough to pay him $4,000 with her bank card. At that time of the interview, based on Hall's phone records, Marion County Sheriff's Office field force members were conducting a search of the wooded area surrounding Southwest 30th Terrace and Southwest 27th, which is also in the area where Hall had described hiding from the alleged car that had been following him during his first few versions of the series of events. The field force members located an area of disturbed oil that was large enough to contain disturbing soil that was large enough to contain a body, and that affected soil was a different, lighter color than the rest around. This was considered a possible burial site. Cadaver dogs responded to the possible burial site and ultimately alerted the area of the suspected grave. Wow. So basically sounds like the wife said, Bibish, yeah, this is insane, and goes and buries her. The suspected grave was exhumed and human remains were found. These remains were later identified through the fingerprint comparison as being Sonia. During the exhumation, a label for, did I say that right? A label for a shovel matching the one purchased by Hall was located in the grave. The same type of shovel was located in Hall's garage with dirt on it, which is the shovel Hall told investigators he purchased from Walmart. The shovel was later submitted to FDLE's Jacksonville laboratory for processing. There were reddish-brown staining found on the handle of the shovel. Using a color change test, the handle of the shovel gave chemical indications of the presence of blood. DNA results were obtained, and the DNA results from the shovel handle demonstrated the presence of a mixture of at least 2 donors, including at least a male contributor. A complete DNA profile for the major contributor could be determined and is suitable for comparisons. This major DNA profile matches the DNA profile from Sonia. The observed major DNA profile is greater than 700 billion times more than likely to occur if the same originated from Sonia than if it originated from an unrelated individual. Additionally, a latent fingerprint present on the shovel handle was compared and identified with the exemplars bearing the same name, Dwain Hall. On October 18th, 2025, an autopsy was conducted on the body of Sonia, and the medical examiner determined the cause of death was four sharp force injuries, likely caused by a knife, and the manner was homicide. On October 18th, 2025, FDLE canvassed southwest part of Gainesville to look for donation bins. A green and white donation bin was located, and the owner of the company was contacted. The donation bin had recently been emptied into a large truck that was currently in Tampa, Florida. The truck had not yet been emptied. On October 19th, with consent, FDLE searched the truck and located a bag that fit the description of Sonia's bag. This bag was submitted to FDLE Jacksonville laboratory for processing. DNA was obtained from the zipper of the bag. The DNA results obtained from Sonia's bag demonstrated the presence of a mixture consistent with 2 donors, including at least 1 male contributor. Again, the same results, 700 billion times more likely to occur if the sample originated from Sonia, and then 1 unrelated individual than if it originated from 2 unrelated individuals. Hall is included as a possible contributor of the mixed DNA profile. The observed mixed DNA profile is approximately 72 million times more likely to occur if the sample originated from Hall and 1 unrelated individual than if it originated from 2 unrelated individuals. Hall's phone records show him leaving the Airbnb on the morning of October 12th. He then drives to a Lowe's store located in Ocala, Florida, where he purchases a plastic tarp. This is verified by surveillance video and financial records. Hall parks his vehicle in the parking lot and appears to talk with someone in the passenger seat prior to entering the store. Hall's vehicle is not close enough to see into the vehicle, but it appears that there's someone in the front passenger seat of the vehicle and they are moving around while Hall is in Lowe's. Hall then drives to the Dunkin' Donut located in Ocala, Florida, where he purchases a drink utilizing the drive-thru. This is verified by surveillance footage and financial records. It is not clear if there was a passenger in the vehicle at this time. After leaving Dunkin' Donuts, he drives to the area of where Sonia's body was later found by law enforcement on October 17th. He is in the area for approximately an hour. Hall then leaves, drives to Gainesville. He stops at the Circle K gas station located on Archer Road and makes a purchase. This is verified by financial records and footage. Surveillance shows that while he is there, Hall throws something on the ground from the back of his vehicle and throws multiple items into a garbage bin from the passenger seat of his vehicle. He then drives to the area of a Kohl's located at, whatever the address is. FDLE canvassed the area, and in the parking lot of Kohl's was a green and white clothing donation bin. Wow. That's crazy. On October 27th, during a jail phone call with his wife, redacted, Dwain Hall tells her that redacted will be sending her a package in 6 months. Redacted, Snyder, aka Redacted, is friends with Hall and communicate with one another regularly through Facebook. Redacted, Snyder's Facebook account profile name is Redacted. According to Stein, Snyder had been communicating with her through Facebook as well. According to records, Snyder lives at Redacted. On October 31st, FDLE special agent and detective interviewed a source who reported to have information regarding Hall. The source provided information during that interview that was credible and unknown to the public. The source believed that Hall killed someone and the victim of the homicide was a woman in her 30s from the UK. Hall told him he helped her die because she couldn't do it herself. Hall was confident that he would get away with it because law enforcement only had cell phone records placing him at the scene. Law enforcement did not know where she had died, and law enforcement did not have the weapon. The source believed she was stabbed because the source asked Hall if he shot her, and he told him no. He then asked Hall if he put a bag over her head, and Hall said no. Hall then told the source that it was harder to do than he thought. This information led the source to believe that Hall stabbed her. During the interview, the source also stated that Hall told the source that Hall had contingency plans in case law enforcement began to close in on him as a suspect. Hall mentioned he had a friend who would help him if needed, but did not provide the friend's name. On October 31st, FDLE reviewed Facebook messages between Hall and Snyder. Below are summaries and direct quotes from their communications that were deemed pertinent to the investigation in the kidnapping and homicide of Sonia. On October 12th at 10:46 p.m., Snyder reaches out to Hall stating, quote unquote, "How's life?" Hall and Snyder message each other back and forth about life. On October 13th, Hall tells Snyder that he needs his address again. He goes on to ask for the correct spelling of Snyder's last name. He tells Snyder that his phone may be tapped and, quote unquote, might be a big storm coming for me. There were also 2 chat messages that were deleted by Snyder that were sent by Hall. Those messages occurred just prior to a message sent from Hall to Snyder on October 13th at 8:39 p.m. that stated, quote unquote, "delete that." On October 14th, Hall mailed Snyder a package from the UPS store located in Ocala, Florida, to Redacted, and it was to be delivered on October 16th. The package weighed 1 pound, 11 ounces, and was reported to UPS being worth $500. On October 14th, Hall reaches out to Snyder through Facebook and appears to send a picture of something to Snyder, but the image has been deleted from the conversation thread. Hall tells Snyder, quote unquote, "Will need this back in 6 months if the storm passes over with no lingering fallout. Please, for the love of shadows, don't lose this box. There's no need to even open it. These are very precious and valuable personal items, Snyder responds. Should I bury it in the yard? LOL. And then, I'm joking. I'll keep your stuff safe. Hall then tells Snyder, thanks, man. I appreciate it. Just make sure you message redacted and ask her about the return in 6 months, just in case the storm is as bad as expected. Yes, the storm is going to be as bad as expected. Hall and Snyder continue to communicate through Facebook with one another, and Snyder asked him if this is about child support. Hall tells Snyder that he can't say, and Snyder responds, quote unquote, this why shouldn't do dirty by yourself, always bring your guard badger. Hall tells Snyder, LOL, right? And then says, don't think the guard badger would have done any good in this instance. Snyder responds to Hall, well, if I think it's stupid, you know it must be insanely stupid. And Hall says, yep. Snyder then says, admit it, we get caught way less when I'm with you. And Hall responds, LOL, indeed. On October 16th, Snyder sends Hall a Facebook message saying, check what time your stuff posed to get here. Hall responds, I can't check right now. Why, what's going on? Snyder tells Hall, nothing. I'm just going to the grocery store and trying not to miss the UPS guy. And Hall replies, okay. Snyder sends Hall another message stating, you're jumpy. And another right after stating, why you like long tail cat on room full of rocking chairs. Hall replies, mostly because that box contains two of my most prized possessions, and I really don't trust the mail system. UPS is usually okay though. Hall then sends another message that says, I feel strangely naked without them, to which Snyder responds, I get it. Snyder then asks Hall, so how do I help you unfuck yourself out of whatever mess you're in? And Hall tells him, I don't know, because I don't know what kind of mess it is yet. For now, just hold on to a box. If anybody asks about the box that isn't redacted, it doesn't exist. Snyder tells him, okay, and Hall replies, thanks, man. I always knew I could count on you. Wow. She clearly had changed her mind, which was not in the right place to begin with. She was so scared. Yeah, she was. Later, on October 16th, Snyder reaches back out to Hall through Facebook and says, I got a box, but it looks like a Walmart order with an image that was later deleted. Hall replies and says, LOL, I know, best way to get to secretly send something. Snyder asks Hall, okay, should I open it or no? And Hall responds, you can, just don't lose or misplace the contents and beware of the sterling silver. And then probably a good pound of that is silver. Snyder tells Hall, okay, not opening it. And Hall replies with, okay, LOL. The package was confirmed delivered on October 16th. FDLE, with the assistance of Washington County Sheriff's Office in Ohio, served a search warrant on the home of Snyder. FDLE interviewed Snyder, and Snyder confirmed that he received a package from Hall on the 16th. Snyder said that there was an engraved knife and sheath that he purchased for Hall, as well as a bracelet in the packaging. Snyder burned the packaging and sewed the knife and sheath and the bracelet into a small black fabric bag. What the actual hell? Snyder stated that he did handle the items prior to sewing them into the bag. The bag was concealed in a drawer in his bedroom. These items were recovered and sent to the FDLE Jacksonville laboratory for processing. Hall's knife is a black cold steel 7-inch Tanto knife. I want to look at that. The knife blade is designed for piercing and stabbing. The knife blade was engraved with quote unquote dork wharf pointy edges in the other guy on the blade. According to Snyder, the dork wharf engraving, with him making fun of Hall's use of dark wolf name while online. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's a scary dark wolf. That was his username. Using a color change test, Hall's knife gave chemical indications for the presence of blood. A complete DNA profile consistent with female individual was obtained from Hall's knife. The bracelet also had presence of a mixture consistent with 3 donors, including at least 1 male contributor. So it was probably these two sick monsters, and then Sonia's. Sonia is included as possible contributor to the mixed DNA profile. Hall is included as possible contributor as well. Based on the evidence, I have probable cause to arrest Hall for the kidnapping and murder of Sonia. Hall met Sonia online and fostered a quote unquote mentor type of relationship with her. Hall knew Sonia suffered from severe mental illness and was suicidal. He claimed he wanted to help Sonia and did not want her to die, but his actions show differently. Sonia was in a foreign country and extremely vulnerable. The message Sonia sent to a friend showed that Hall was controlling her, that she was afraid and had made a mistake. Furthermore, Hall told her the only way she would survive is if she shot him. A firearm was recovered from Hall's vehicle, and he admitted to cleaning it while at the Airbnb. The video of Sonia recorded by Hall does not show a mentor who is concerned about Shelby's well-being, nor Sonia's well-being. Why did I mix the two words? Nor someone who wants to keep her alive. Instead, the video shows a visibly distressed Sonia being questioned and directed by an authoritative Hall about her deserving to be beaten and ultimately die violently. Afraid of being caught, Hall made the video in an effort to protect himself from the consequences of kidnapping and taking her life. Hall planned to murder her. This is evident by the multiple times he purchased to include the items he purchased to include rope, gun cleaner, and a shovel just prior to traveling to the airport to pick her up. The shovel was located in Hall's garage and had his fingerprint and had Sonia's blood on the handle. A label of the same type of shovels located in Sonia's grave. Sonia was murdered with a sharp force injury, likely a knife. Shortly after FDLE reached out to Hall the first time, he contacted his friend Snyder on Facebook and then shipped the weapon and a bracelet to Snyder, asking him to hold onto it and not tell anyone. The knife was recovered in Ohio and showed the presence of blood. The blood belonged to Sonia. The bracelet had both Hall's and Sonia's DNA. Yeah, he did absolutely take advantage of her. That is pretty brutal. I want to play the long crime video that they did. It's not very long, but I cannot believe that's real life. And it's brutal.
That's Dwain Hall warning about scam calls days before he would be accused of murdering a woman from the UK who he met on a fetish website. The strange twist, Hall says that Sonia Exelby wanted him to kill her. I go through the unbelievable and tragic case out of Florida. I'm Anjanette Levy, and this is Crime Fix. To kill her, investigators say that he tortured and murdered Sonia Exelby, a woman from the United Kingdom whose loved ones reported her missing in October. Hall claimed to detectives that Sonia wanted him to kill her. This case, it's incredibly sad and very disturbing. Last month, a man named Stevie posted on Facebook that Sonia was missing and described her as a vulnerable person who was really struggling with her mental health. Stevie wrote, "We believe she got on a plane on Friday and made her way to Florida, Tallahassee from the UK. We believe she has arranged to meet someone there and has got herself into an extremely vulnerable situation." That's all I can really say on that. Sonia, according to the Florida Department of Law Enforcement, had missed her scheduled flight home to the UK from Florida on Monday, October 13th. Now, there was a lot of concern for Sonia. Police in the UK actually reached out to Interpol, and Interpol then contacted law enforcement in the United States to search for her. An affidavit states, according to information from UK authorities, Exelby had known mental health diagnoses and at least one previous documented police incident from 2024, which involved a credible concern that Exelby wanted to end her life and planned to travel to the United States with the intention of meeting with online individuals who would be willing to kill her violently. Exelby had possibly communicated with these individuals on Telegram.
Wow.
Telegram is an online application that individuals use to communicate more securely. That attempt was thwarted, and Exelby received treatment. Most recently, Exelby left evidence on her computer indicating that she was again considering ending her life and traveling to the United States to be possibly sexually abused, tortured, and murdered by unknown individuals living in the United States. Sonia had arrived in Florida on October 10th, a Friday, and planned to return to the UK 3 days later. Police said after she arrived at the Gainesville airport on October 10th, 2 UK phone numbers were seen roaming briefly in the United States, but then those phones turned off. Almost immediately, investigators in Florida were able to determine that 53-year-old Dwain Hall was tied to Sonia Exelby's trip to Florida. It really wasn't that hard for them to put the pieces together. Investigators wrote in an affidavit, during the time that Exelby was known to be in the United States, Solver Wolf's roadside assistants attempted to charge Exelby's Lloyd's bank account debit card on October 11th, 2025. There were 7 attempts at varying amounts within an approximately 10-minute time frame. All were declined. FDLE later found out that during the same time frame at approximately 1:10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, a payment for $1,200 was successfully charged to a Tesco Bank debit card belonging to Exelby. FDLE contacted the owner of Solver Wolf's roadside assistance, Dwain Hall. Hall is the only current employee of this business. Of course, police went to talk with Dwain Hall, and police said he denied knowing Sonia Exelby at all. Detectives wrote in their affidavit, Hall was initially contacted on October 13th by telephone, and then on October 14th by telephone and also in person during the missing person case, and asked about the transactions. He recalled the declined bank card transactions and claimed that an unknown woman called him in need of roadside assistance the weekend of October 10th through the 12th, 2025. This woman was willing to pay him a large sum of money to respond and help her, but when her card was declined multiple times, he did not respond to assist her. He also claimed none of the charges went through. He stated multiple times he did not know Exelby, nor did he travel to meet this unknown woman to provide her assistance. Hall could not produce any information about the woman's car, location, nor cell phone records to support his assertion that he received a call from someone during the time he said he received the call and charged Exelby's credit cards. The evidence was mounting, and investigators say they verified that Sonia checked into an Airbnb that she rented in Reddick, Florida. Then detectives said they were made aware of messages on Discord that came from Exelby's account on October 11th. There are typos, so I'm going to interpret what they're supposed to say. The affidavit states this message appeared to come from Exelby's account sometime on October 11th, 2025. The message was long and at times disjointed. It starts by saying, "I'm sorry, he keeps taking my phone. He doesn't trust me with it." She then writes, "He made it clear there was no way out unless I shoot him. I was questioning it last night. I can't kill anyone." She went on to write that last night was so bad and he's in the shower, but I'm locked in and there is no signal in the middle of nowhere. She also writes, "I thought he'd do it quick and not give my mind time to stew and realize this is the last thing I'll ever do to anyone if I don't take his offer of shooting him. He showed me about to use it and where to aim it." She ends the message by writing, "I'm so scared. I'm so broken and in so much pain. All I can do is lay here, and doing what he wants makes him respect me enough not to do the things I really hate. Everything, but some are. I'm sorry, I don't even know what I'm saying, and I'm trying to be quick, and my time's up." The message.
I'm really wondering, I know we read a lot of this through the affidavit, but like, why did she have to fly to the US to do that? Like, not that I'm saying she should have done one thing or another, but, or even judging. I'm just wondering, like, there was nobody in the UK that participated in this community of BDSM or whatnot.
Indicated that the person who she was with wouldn't let her leave and that the same person always had a gun on him. Exelby did not name the person, but said he told her that the only way out is for her to kill him. Additionally, in this message, Exelby said this person made her record 3 disclaimer videos and write a letter to her family because he thought it was funny. All right, so I told you that investigators interviewed Dwain Hall, and they say he told them a number of different stories, at first denying he knew Sonia at all, and then saying that a high-profile client named Harold paid him to pick her up from the airport. Finally, investigators said that Dwain Hall admitted that he had met Sonia on a fetish website 2 years ago, and that
I'm not judging. I'm just saying, like, why travel 4,000 miles for this right here on the screen? Oh, yeah, baby. You know what I mean?
he had begun to mentor her. Hall's username on that site, Alpha Sadist. And there was more. Hall told investigators that he had violent tendencies, but that changed when his wife became ill. They wrote that Hall eventually admitted to having sex with Sonia, calling it vanilla. But then they found a 4-minute, 16-second video on his phone where he was questioning her. Hall had bruises and abrasions on her face and chest, according to the detectives. In the video, detectives said that Hall asked Sonia Exelby why she was there, and she responded, "Because I'm an awful person." And he then asks her why that is, and she responds, "I've crushed everyone who ever loves me." The video is incredibly disturbing. Detectives wrote, she goes on to speak about other reasons she believes she's an awful person and is visibly upset with tears in her eyes. As she is talking about this, Hall asks her how she would want to die and to describe it. She does not answer, and he then asks her what she has been consenting to here today. She asks him hesitantly if he means about the way he's talked about killing her. Hall asks Exelby about what treatment she consents to beforehand. She hesitates and then tells him to be stabbed. Hall goes on to ask Exelby about her treatment the last day or two, and she seems confused and then tells him that she doesn't remember because they've talked about so many different ways. Hall then asks Exelby about her face. She responds, "You've beaten me." He asks her if that is what she asked for, and she does not immediately respond, but then says, "I guess literally speaking." Hall asks if she is being forced or coerced. Again, Exelby does not immediately respond, and when she does respond, she only shakes her head no. Detectives said Hall told them that Sonia had promised to help him with some trouble that he was having with the IRS and that she would bring $4,000 with her to give to him, but she didn't. So that's why he charged that $1,200 to her credit card. Detectives said they searched the Airbnb and found evidence tying Hall to Sonia Exelby's murder. They wrote, FDLE searched the Airbnb and during that search located receipts in the trash that showed on October 10th, 2025 at approximately 5:47 p.m., Hall, using his bank card, purchased a paracord, gun cleaner, 50 feet of rope, and loom spray at a Walmart located in Gainesville, Florida. That same day at 5:54 p.m., Hall made another purchase at the same Walmart for a shovel using his same bank card. Surveillance video and transaction history confirmed that Hall was the one who purchased these items. Investigators said they found Sonia Exelby's remains buried on Friday, October 17th with a shovel that Dwain Hall bought at Walmart.
Yeah, I'm glad. She's so pretty. I know she is. He is videoing. Keep in mind. I know. That's like sick. Sick.
Autopsy revealed that she had been stabbed to death. And get this, investigators say that Dwain Hall actually
Oh, that's what it looks like. Remember I said I was going to Google
mailed
it.
a knife that he owned along with the knife sheath to a friend in Ohio. They say it was a black cold steel 7-inch Tonto knife marked Dork Wharf, which was a nickname his friend had given him. The investigators say that that knife had Sonia's blood on it. Also included in that package was some silver. All right, so to talk about this incredibly disturbing case, I want to bring in Mark.
Okay. That's the end of that. If you guys want to watch the rest of it, you can on Law and Crime. I know it's always Walmart or Amazon. Okay, so that's the case of Sonia and Dwain Hall. I mean, I feel like it's pretty much, yeah, he's fried. I thought I saw First Liberty say he's fried. Yeah. He is fried. And you know what a terrible case. So I guess there will be a trial because he pleaded not guilty. So oh, you're fine. You're fine, femme. I'm confused. I need to go back. Yeah. So I guess we'll stay caught up on the case. I wanted to just make sure I touched on it and read that affidavit because I had been hearing about it and that's terrible. So I'm sorry that you guys had to listen to all this stuff. Don't let it get you down. We're here for each other. We do have more live scheduled for today. We have a Kenzie live, and we are covering body cam from the hidden true crime saga that continues. Nonetheless, you know, praying for Sonia's family. I'm sure this was probably not what they ever imagined. He has pleaded not guilty. Yeah, thank you, Cuff. Of course he did. And you know, just be careful on the internet, please, even as adults. People are evil. Just be very careful. Anyways, I appreciate you guys for being here. That's the case of Sonia Exelby. Please, please, please make sure you tap the like button on the way out. Shout out to all of you guys for being here and the replay viewers. Turn on your notifications, hype it as well, so you don't miss when I go live here soon. I'm going to have to reschedule because this one went a little longer. There's really interesting defense plan that I have never heard of before. I listen to true crime to distract my mind. Yes, fam. I am scheduled to be back on here in a little bit. So I'm going to eat some food, lunch, and then I'll come back with, I'm not sure if I'm doing Kenzie first or hidden true crime video. So turn on your notifications. I will be back in a little bit. I appreciate it, guys. And please, please, please make sure to hit the like button on the way out. Really helps get into the algorithm, do all them things. I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you soon on the next one.